Welcome everyone, and hello Claudia.
Hello, Iulia.
My name is Iulia Ipati, and I am an external Hypnoperator and a student of the CG Academy, while my colleague Claudia is a telepathic support of the Calogero Grifasi method. Today we prepared for you the 268 investigative cycle, protocol number 1. The protocol we're making it's defined mixed because it's comprised of two parts. The fixed part where we cannot change or deepen any questions and only except for the second part. This method allows us to contaminate the information as little as possible, and for this reason all telepathic supports in all our languages they don't know the subject. Anyone wishing to contact me for a one-on-one session can email me at juliaregressivhypnosis@gmail.com and can find all my web references on the YouTube description below. Now, Claudia, can get ready and start focusing on your breath, and we'll have 3 breaths together. I'll count from 5 to 1. While I am counting, you will start focusing on your breathing. 5. Breathe deeply and deeply, and your body is becoming heavier and heavier. You feel your body sinking into the chair. 4. Inhale and exhale. And your mind becomes completely empty. 3. Any sound from the outside will make you relaxed and more relaxed. 2. A sense of peace and calm is present everywhere, inwards and outwards. Breathe in and you are completely relaxed. I will count from 1 to 3, and on 3 you will connect with the Archangel Metatron of Merkabah and tell me what frequencies you are in a contact with. 1, 2, 3.
First came to my perception a sound, a kind of metallic sound, simply like two pieces of iron would knock into each other. And in the same time, a feeling of something very deep down the earth. So like this sound would come from somewhere deep in from the earth. So it's not something that, I would have expected to come from the skies as being an archangel or something like from outside. It came from deep down. And as a frequency, as you asked, um, I don't have a number right now, just a feeling of something very white, and at the same time, like cold. This is the feeling that I'm getting right now. Something cold. And again, this sound of metal, iron.
You said white and cold? Or wide?
No, wide.
Wide.
Something very, yes, spread,
Wide.
like very
Okay.
huge, something very large.
Okay. Now, Claudia, tell me how you visualize Archangel Metatron.
I would say like an engine. This is what comes to my vision right now. Like would be that type of engine, not that type, something strange, something weird, like an engine with a lot of pieces, technological pieces in the middle. But outside of this engine, yes, uh, there are like kind of winds. I don't know how to say. Like when you see those pieces from an engine that are spinning around, it's like a turbine. I don't know how to say this word. You understand that
Turbines?
turbines, yes, that are spinning around and have a sense. It's not only one; it's something mixed, something combined. And the feeling that I get when I look at this, it's they're having a very important role of mixing and attracting energies from outside, but in a very complex way. It's not just one direction they are spinning around. There are more directions. This is the image that I have now.
Very well. The Talmud says that Metatron of Merkabah is the prince angel associated with the good of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Decode, decode his etheric DNA and reconstruct his original form on tree. One, two, three.
Now, when you read this, I had the feeling again, not only the feeling, but the image again of those engines, let's say, as I was telling you before,
Mhm,
um, with those pieces that are spinning around. It's not only one, there are more. And
mhm,
now, when you said about that, came to my mind the feeling now of good and evil, let's say, mixed together in those turbines, in those engines. That's why probably I was seeing those complex pieces of engines, because they're mixing different energies and from different vibrations. And in the same time, when you said to look at the DNA, came an image of a person, of a kind of figure, very, very tall, very wide, and came to my mind that word, hierarch.
hierarch. Mhm,
Yeah, like
mhm,
comes being a very important being for the for this world, for how this world is shaped.
mhm. Anything else?
I have the same feeling of something cold, but in the same time complex. And it's like very subtle energy that it's like he's giving different vibrations, he's offering different vibrations, different prints, vibrational prints to the people around, depending on what they need, on what their weaknesses are. From what I feel and I see, it's a being extremely intelligent and wide shaped and very clever, that type of
Mhm,
person that he offers everything you want, almost everything you want. He can adjust his energy. He's like containing different vibrations, different frequencies in order to be ready to offer that one that a person needs.
mhm,
It's something huge, huge
mhm,
and complex. And if I would not give enough attention, it would be quite easy to trick me, because the feeling is very subtle, from what I
mhm,
telling you. It's very subtle, it's like a pail of wind.
mhm,
He's a very smart, very clever being.
mhm. Very well, Claudia. What is the role of Metatron and how does it work?
What comes to my mind now, his role is to root the energies of the people that are coming into his circle of power, let's say. It's like he makes the energy of people that are trusting him to root more in this matrix. It's like he's a part of how matrix works.
Mhm,
His Now, when I was telling you this, I was seeing images, different kind of images of different people that some of them are trusting him a lot, are seeing him like a ruler of the rulers of this world. And at the same time, like I was seeing another plane, a second level behind this one, with people that are simply following. the other ones. The feeling that I have is this person, is this being, is like the person that is the being, sorry, that is influencing the rulers, the spiritual gurus, masters, has a lot to do with people in high positions, and not only from the spiritual world, but mainly in this area, in this camp, in this field of spiritual leaders.
Yes. What do you perceive or visualize about Merkabah?
Wheels,
Wheels.
wheels, first of all, comes to me. But many is not only one. And the feeling is that they are spinning in different directions. Again, something in connection with this being. Um, only that this, I don't know how to call it, this device, Merkabah, it's different in a way. It's not the same like I've seen to that being, to Metatron. This is like the wheels on this device, let's say, Merkabah, are more aligned. This is the word. On that being, these wheels are looking to me more compressed one into each other. But here on this device, Merkabah, it's like they are more aligned, like would be on equal distance one from each other. They're disposed in a different way, in a more easy to watch way, I would say, in a different way, and in the same time has it gives me a feeling of creating energy and moving energy in the same time, but again in a complex way. But I don't know, I feel like saying that this device has the way it creates and moving the energy makes it in a more clean way, more clean. It's not that mixture that I was feeling when I was connecting to Metatron. Mm. It comes to my mind also the word travel, like moving from one space to each other, to another. Also this word.
Travel, you said, right?
Yes. Yes, we'll see what else comes.
Very well, Claudia. Metatron is sometimes called the lesser YHWH, which is a sequence of the name of God Yahweh, used in the Hebrew Bible. Are Metatron and Yahweh related to any way?
Comes to my mind a big yes. And came also this word aspect, like, but not that Metatron would be an aspect of Yahweh. I have an image, very interesting image, like they would confound one to each other, like they are, I would say, shape shifting the figure, the face in my image now. Like one would be the other and the other would be the other one in different eras of the world, or depending on the projects they're running, depending on what they need or what they want to express to the world, or the frequencies from outside. But in the same time, I have as I was speaking now, I was having another image, like they would still be like like a set of qualities, Like this Metatron would be more like a being that's running things from a technical point of view. So he's the person that are composing the vibrations, that are determining, the conditions in different projects. And Yahweh, the other being, is more like a being, like a being with more easy to detect um, DNA. When I was looking to this being, looks more like having very clear features of um, Draco, reptiloid, like a being that we know already. Um, I also have a feeling, a sense of feeling, very cold and mean entity. So it's something that I saw before, I felt, I sensed. But when I'm relating to this marathon, comes a lot of, let's say, technology in some way, a lot of those technical features, you know. But it's not only that, also is a being, is a being, but with different characteristics in a way than the other one. So in the same time, I would say they are related. They can take place on each other when they need this, but in the same time, they have their own features, their own characteristics.
Very well. Metatron's cube is a term invented in the 1980s in New Age circles frequented by the esoteric researcher Drunvalo Melchizedek. Is there any connection between Metatron and Melchizedek's Metatron's cube?
Yes, when you're reading the question. I was having a visualization with a cube. I don't know from the real, information was this all about, but this image that I was having now was a black cube. I don't know if it's in real how they claim would be, but this is my image now, like a black cube made from something that's somehow black, but in the same time is shining, something sparkle. But that's like an image to attract people, energies. And the feeling was like a device that has to do with attracting and blocking the energy from the people that are using it. I don't know in what way they are using it, but this is what I feel and see, because I'm telling you what exactly I visualize now. Like I see subliminal parts, so I see clearly essence of people that are somehow entering that cube. They are like swimming. This is the feeling that I have, but they are very soon blocked in those angles, you know, wide and moving from left to right on forward, and they are simply blocking in those angles of that inside part of the cube. Is a very strange image, I would say, but it's like they are blocking and have being forced to start once again the same race, and again blocking and again starting. It's like a no end circle, but it's not a circle, as I said, it's inside of a cube. So they are simply losing the energy, losing a lot of energy in this running, and with no end, with no result, with no positive, beneficial result at the end. That was the image that I had to share.
Very well, Claudia. We finished the fixed part. We can start on the exploratory part. So let's see this black cube. When was created?
First came to my mind that was created a lot of time ago, but it was just not revealed to the public eyes until recently. But it was already a part, a kind of piece already created long time ago,
How long?
thousands of years.
Thousands of years. Was
Comes
it?
to my mind.
Mhm. Was it created before Metatron or after?
Mm, I don't see any before or after. It comes more like belonging to him in somehow, or being created in the same time.
Mhm.
Um, because comes exactly like it would be in around him,
Mhm. Was it like a helper or something like a tool to be
like a
used?
tool.
Mhm.
Exactly, exactly. Comes like a tool, but that was also used in the ancient times.
Mhm.
Um, so this is what I perceive. It was used in the ancient times. Then for the same purposes, okay, so to extract energy,
Mhm.
and it was used more in front of the people. It was not hidden,
Mhm.
and then it was like took away from the sight of people around for a long period of time.
Why?
I
Mhm.
comes to my mind now. Uh, this tool, this device, disappeared like in the same time when these beings, these entities, are no longer visible to the people. So in the ancient times, they were more like, being connected with the persons, with the humans in a more visible way. So they are seen by people. They are talking in a way they're more in connection with the humans.
Mhm.
And that was the time when also this cube was around. Then comes to my mind this getting in the shadow, let's say, also the entities, also this cube came along with a new era where
The new age
no,
trend,
no, no,
kind
no,
of? No.
no, no, no. I'm now a lot more in the deep in the old
That,
times.
okay.
I mean, in those times where they're not in a way visible by the people, by the humans. Um, until recently, until yes, until these centuries, or when we get to hear more about aliens, about UFOs,
Mhm.
like they are preparing again the ground for the people to get used to this idea that aliens are people around, are actually beings around us, and they will be visible at some point, like they are preparing the people now. Where for this reason also this cube was again out of the shadow and put in place, because now is has to do also with the planets, with astrology, with
Mhm.
the cycles of the earth. Like
Mhm.
it was a time of I don't know, many hundreds of years, where
Mm-hmm.
they are not, but not allowed. But comes this word to my mind now, not allowed in a way to show up too much to the people. Like in old
Mm-hmm.
times they were doing, where the people are making sacrifice to their gods. The gods are very easy to be seen, and sensed and perceived by the humans. Then came another 1,000 years when they are hidden, and now they're preparing us, they're trying to prepare us to get used again to this idea, to have a more direct relation with the people, mm, let's say, of other races. And
Mm-hmm.
from this plan is part also this kind of tools, like this cube, trying to, not trying, but actually succeeding to get more energy, because comes again with this new age era, as you said, um, in terms of opening of the people, of the humans now, to spirituality, to energies, to these subtle fields.
So they use this kind of spiritually opening to for them to get them
Hmm.
more connected
Hmm.
to believe.
To believe, yes, and to be attracted, yes, by them, mm, through this opening, yes, to spiritual things of humans. But in the same time, they are more vulnerable, let's say, some people, and they are believing everything that comes in this new age uh, field, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy, it's like an easy prey.
Mm-hmm. You can say that it's compare religion is kind of the, how can you say, control opposition, kind of
Yes,
something like
yes,
that.
yes, something like that. Yes, can be like an opposition, but it's kind of so only on the surface, opposition. In fact, they are both pieces of the matrix. Also, this
Mm-hmm.
new age, also the religion. They are
Mm-hmm.
mm, they are both having their own pillars. They are deeply rooted in the matrix. In fact, that's what I was saying.
Are they having the same objectives or different objectives? Because they are created.
Hmm. Now I was seeing again those two pillars in a bit different way. That belonging to New Age is more sparkling. That comes to my vision. More sparkling with more subtle,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Messages, information. Mm-hmm.
messages, energies, like has something for everyone. But the other one, this belonging to the religion, to traditional religions, is a more rigid, I would say, is not that sparkling, doesn't have so many little gates, like I was seeing to the other, because this one is like following some strict rules, some strict dogma,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and but still has a kind of synchronicity, even with less and less communities, humans, as we speak. It's like decreasing a lot its influence and importance for the humans, but still is this pillar is still there and still making his role, playing his role
Mm-hmm.
in the matrix.
Mm-hmm. So the religion and spirituality is kind of it's like it's a tool for the matrix.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
when's kind of spirituality kind of was started to be ooh, more mm, mm, advanced and more when it started like.
when it started, you mean? You
Mm-hmm.
ask. um
Yeah, So people who are, like, say, not religious, they will
Yes,
go into spirituality, right?
it already started like 10, um, let's say 30, 40 years ago already
Mm-hmm.
started, and then
Little by little.
increased little by little, step
Mm-hmm.
by step. I was not sure what to say because I was also having an image like from the beginning of the century, the last century. I was seeing those spiritualists, very being a lot more interested in the energy and the fields behind the material world. But they're all only the first ones. Then more and more became mainstream, I would say, a lot later in the 1970s, 60s,
Mm-hmm.
70s with the hippie movement. They became for the first time in a mass movement, almost interested
Mm-hmm.
in the Oriental beliefs and systems, yoga and all that,
Mm-hmm.
Buddhist,
Buddhism. Mm-hmm.
Buddhism, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was actually the first ignition comes to my mind, and then step by step spread it all around the world, not only in America. And people generally now are more now in the present time, it comes to my vision actually actually I would say a lot of beliefs, many beliefs. Is not that simple now. um, in the beginning, in 1960s, for example, there
Mm-hmm.
were a few major flows coming, but now there are a lot. It's like almost every person now has a mixture of beliefs for himself that are counting for himself and that are shaping his life. Um, that's how it is now. A lot of different shapes of the original religions and beliefs.
So they use different beliefs to achieve kind of the same thing.
Yes, but to achieve, when you said achieve, came to me also this final goal. I would say it's a lot different for every person.
Mm-hmm.
And this, even these spiritual beliefs are kind of supporting even people with no
No beliefs.
how
No.
to say, with no beliefs in spiritual world. Exactly. You mean, the image that I have now, for example, are the people, these materialistic people that are very much money oriented, goods, welfare. So but in the same time, in this part, I was seeing those spiritualistic concepts, but they are using them as a tool to justify in somehow. Now I don't know, to
Their
justify their,
behavior beliefs.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Also they quote their life and their rational
Thinking.
goals yes, in spiritual
Way.
concepts,
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things now. It's like, as I said, every person almost now has his own beliefs and his own goals. Some people want more, I don't know, to advance in a spiritual way, in a traditional way, but others set different purposes.
Mm-hmm. Are those people advancing in the traditional way, on, let's say, the right way, or?
Depending on what to whom we refer. Um, yes, it's like now in the last years, it's also a more opening in the people way of advancing. It's like not one purpose good for all. It's a lot more refined in the. So again comes to my mind, depending on what every person's conditions, characteristics, it has to do with this. And he will use a person depending on what's good and what's best for him, the right tools. So that talking, about concepts, the set of beliefs, methods, and everything.
Was it yoga introduced as a tool to get more people into a certain belief,
Mhm.
spiritualism or behavior?
Again, when you when you pronounced this word yoga, uh, came to my vision a lot of images, mixed images, and has a lot to do with with many other um, methods. It's like a very good example talking about yoga and to understand what's going on generally in the whole spirituality, in the whole new age. So when you said this word, came to me like traditional way of applying this,
Mhm.
then this modern and combined with a lot of other methods and mixtures. It's like a tool, I would say, that includes also, in very simple terms, includes everything, good and evil, um, enlightenment and going down in a very fast pace.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's like including everything is depending on, again, on what the level, inside level, and the balance that a person has. um, this is actually the most important, the set of inner balance that a person has, and the set of qualities and abilities a person has. So according from with these things that I told you, it's that person that has to decide what to take and how much to take from this method, from yoga, how deep to go, how, for example, some persons that are not very evolved, let's say,
Mhm.
spiritually, and they are going, for example, instead of sticking with the physical positions and hatha
The
yoga,
asanas,
the
yeah.
asanas, exactly.
Mhm.
They are going a lot more deepen. They are starting to make like prayers to those deities from Indian traditions. So they are going now in already in a field that is not, they are not mastering. They don't know what's going
Mhm.
on in there, and they are going deep and deep, and this will be not beneficial for them. They can become like a food, yes, for those deities, um, because
Mhm.
they don't understand what's going on. They just copy and do things according to what the master from the yoga class is saying to them.
Mhm.
They don't perform and do things according to their own judgment, because their level is not probably that high. They just copy and do things. They are
They
easy
are
to
like swayed.
manipulate. Exactly.
Depends on the teacher's kind of
Exactly.
teachings. So
Exactly.
it's like they are like like they found different gods, I can
Hmm.
say.
Exactly. They just move from the traditional, let's say, gods from here,
Mhm.
from the Western worlds. They are moving to another gods. They're just changing gods, but it's not a real evolvement, spiritual growth. No.
Mhm. You're saying that in the ancient times, people they were able to see them, those entities. Why
Hmm.
is that?
Again came to my vision now images with the cycles, some very large images with planets moving around, with being different cycles of the planet and universal cycles like mm, it mainly come to my mind now two different movements, two more important. One is of extension, expandation, and another one of contraction. And in these two are a lot of other conditions that are interact with each other. And that's why in some period of times, in some eras, it's like the energies are more close to each other. That comes to me to say,
Mm-hmm.
like the skies would be more close to the earth, closer, like would be down. It and creates an atmosphere of or an energy that allows people to see other beings, um, and also has to do with the it's something with the entities themselves comes to me because I simply see them. I have a vision of entities seen in a more clear way. Even like this, they're not completely like like you would see a human around in a more different way, more energetic, but still they are clearly visible by the
Mm-hmm.
humans. Those are the conditions of that time. And now comes again a type of era that
Mm-hmm.
that things are changing again. Um, and of course, these entities are trying to take advantage as much as possible from the era that's coming. They are trying to make it, more beneficial for them to bring a lot of fear, panic, chaos in the humans.
Mm-hmm. So in this era, these times, because the planets and astrology, it's kind of proper for them to
Hmm.
continue kind of
Plans.
their plans,
Yes.
because they want to show themselves kind of to the human, the
Mm-hmm.
collective consciousness.
Yes, to influence the collective consciousness. But
Mm-hmm.
as you were speaking, I was having the feeling that also this era is not for them specifically in purpose for them, but also creates a huge wave of spiritual growth on humans too. So comes with two, like would be two sides, of a
The blade. Mm-hmm.
blade, exactly. It's also huge growth in humans. Mm,
Their consciousness, their
exactly,
awareness.
exactly. Their consciousness. That's why they need even more powerful tools to manipulate now, to extract energy, because it becomes more and more difficult with this human growth,
Because people
spiritual
they
growth.
feel energies more than before.
Exactly, exactly. They feel, they see. So, what this astrological era
Mm-hmm.
brings for them brings also for any one of us. Increases in not only in perceptions and abilities, but also in human evolution in every single human being according to his inner conditions, his level at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So was it the black cube and Metatron kind of created the same time you said?
Hmm.
Thousands of years ago, like they were kind of
Hmm.
created together,
Yes,
something like maybe an accessory to
yes, a kind of,
Metatron.
yes, accessory, a tool. But
Uh-huh.
again, I have this feeling that was more in front of people, because I was seeing like would be placed on a kind of temple, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
on a corner. That was the image that I got
Mm-hmm.
from those times. A
Mm-hmm.
cube on a corner, and the same times I see it spinning around on a very high speed, and being a tool of creating and attracting energy.
Is it this black cube made of what? And if it's made on the earth or from a different place brought?
I have the feeling that it's made from different ingredients, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
that are found deep on earth. When you ask these questions, I heard again that sound that I told you in the beginning, coming
You're
deep
talking
down
about
to
those
earth.
engines, those turbines, yeah, in the
No,
earth,
that was when I
metal.
was referring to metal, exactly, to
Mm-hmm.
this
Okay,
being, but I don't know
together.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know at what question. I told you that I was hearing maybe on that one too. I don't remember, but I remember those sounds. Some like metal would stick on each other, on would
Let's go there
like two
and
pieces of
see.
iron.
Mm-hmm. Let's go there and see how it was created. One, two, three.
Yes,
Start with Metatron. Mm-hmm.
uh, we're looking now for the cube from what's created, right?
The cube, the cube of Metatron is that comes all
Yes.
kind of together from the deep down the earth. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
connection between the two of
Yes.
them. So you said the Metatron.
Mm-hmm.
It's uh, cold, made
Mm-hmm.
has
Mm-hmm.
this metallic sound.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How was created the earth, or like how they started to create it to create that this machine? Sounds like a machine, yeah.
No, yes, kind of. I told you I have this feeling of being more like technologic, but not technologic in that way that we see now in the present times, different, implants or
Mm-hmm.
devices. It's more like this being Metatron was being created in the same time almost when the matrix was created or soon after. It's like being a pillar, something, a
Mm-hmm.
very important structure, very important piece of this matrix
Instrument.
to
Mm-hmm.
to to be run. Um, and again, I have this, talking now about that cube, I have again this image deep down, and having that sound is very strong to my ears now, is a kind of frightening sound, I would say, something very, very low, low, very grave, very low, and the same time very penetrating. um, it's like made of the energies, that sound of the energies that are getting inside, the mixture of energies that are uh, getting inside from outside the earth, from the people, from what's created outside the earth. It's like balancing what's coming from outside and what it is inside the earth. It's a mechanism, equalizer comes to me
Mm-hmm.
to say, equalizer mechanism,
Mm-hmm.
to keep in shape and to keep standing this matrix.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you if was created before the Matrix or after the Matrix, and you
Mm-hmm.
responded. So
Mm-hmm.
this Metatron and the cube is kind of together. They create more stronger energy. They are kind of collaboration. What?
Yes, this cube, when you were speaking to me, it's the cube, it's like a, yes, like a tool, like a device, but it's something that mediates, transmutes in a way
Mm-hmm.
the energies that are being trapped inside from the humans, from outside, from the subliminal parts, and makes it more reliable for the
Mm-hmm.
matrix, for himself as an entity, more attractable, more proper, transformed,
Mm-hmm.
for him to be really helpful.
Who created them? I guess both Metatron and the cube.
Um, it's uh, it's not whom, it's like they are who is created it, it's like they are part of the creators, let's say, like they
Mm-hmm.
would be, not they, but this Metatron, this being specifically comes to my mind, that is he's a part of who created the matrix itself. And when I say this, I see like other beings is not only one, and in the same time I have the feeling that is creation, a project that belongs to many species, including something with humans. I have this feeling, with humans, with humanoids, but
Mm-hmm.
also yes, with this human DNA comes to my mind and my vision.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mixture. It's something like a, depending from what point of view you regard, you look
Mm-hmm.
at the whole situation. It's like if we live from a point of view from this species, it's a tool that helps them to get more energy for them to survive. If we, for example, look at this matrix from our point of view, can be like simply a game that helps us to experience in more complex conditions our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends from what point of view it's regarded.
Mm-hmm. What do they need the human DNA for this kind of project?
For a lot of purposes comes to my mind. One and most common is to simply for them to survive. So to have this infinite energy that a subliminal part has and can create with no exhaustion, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, without end, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And for them this is simply bliss because they need it. At
Mm-hmm.
the same time, this those experiments of trying to mix the DNAs, so trying to get hybridizations more and more complex, more and more getting into these new structures, genetic structures, their own DNA. This is
Mm-hmm.
like, again, a very important part of them, for them, very important, because they are trying to get a lot from our own characteristics, but in the same time keeping sticking with theirs, those that they want to pursue, in time, maintaining their mind, their personality, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
but in the same time getting more permanent, infinite, as is our subliminal part.
Mm-hmm. When the notion, the term of archangel came into
When you said
the
when,
word,
the
mm-hmm.
word, yes, I had again a very antique image. So it comes from old times. Again, comes to my mind thousands of years ago. But in the same time, I was I was contemplating the image when you pronounced this word, and the image is something that uh, was like a line up and down, you know, going around very big pieces, parts of the skies above me in this image. So it's like a very huge being that somehow a leader, a big piece of space. That was the when you said that word. That was the image that came to my vision.
Does he have a connection with the hierarchs?
Not really. In a way, yes, has a connection, but I don't know why. I don't know why. I have the feeling that this archangel
Archangels, yeah.
word is something
Archangels.
archangel is something a bit smaller than what an hierarch is. So it's not every archangel is an hierarch. This is what comes to my vision
So
now.
some they are, some are
Ah,
not.
exactly. That
What comes
comes.
to you? Which one is an hierarch from the archangels in our history?
Mm, it came only one word now to me, but I'm not sure exactly how to say in English. Michael,
Michael, Archangel
Michael.
Michael.
Exactly, that one came to my mind. Only this word, but the feeling that's for sure not the only one. Uh, there are more, and at the same time, I have the feeling of a structure, of a scheme, of a hierarchic structure. I mean, like would be some of them bigger, more important. I don't know, came to my mind now 6 or 7 came these numbers, being a lot more important in the this general structure of the matrix,
Okay.
As a hierarchs, I mean. But starting from them, it depends. There are other layers of less important beings led by these hierarchs. And in the same time, I was having another vision, another feeling that these hierarchs are losing, decreasing, and increasing their importance in different eras and different times. It's all depending with the waking up of humans,
So
with the
what happens in our
consciousness
era?
level.
Like, how is there power in our era, kind of?
Yes. Now that you ask, came a first image. Um, came this technological stuff, you know, everything like the hierarch that's responsible for this is very in charge, I would say, at this moment.
Technology, you're saying?
Yes, technology, yes, because there are a lot of people attracted to this, a lot of people even dependent on using their phones. So it's not only big, high technological devices, but we're talking also about the influence that a smartphone has on everyone's life almost. This came first.
It's kind of giving their energy
A lot,
instantly.
exactly.
It's instant.
As much as a person use their devices, this in a way or another offers. It's like we are taking information from there, but in the same time, depending on how much makes us dependent again,
So it's
addicted.
they
This
use,
is the
yeah, addiction. They use addiction and dependency,
exactly,
codependency on these
exactly,
technologies.
Yes, this is a
Like,
very important.
is it like that belief you cannot live without it? What happens if the power goes off, or it's that they feel that they feel lost
Exactly,
without it.
exactly. A
Mhm.
lot of people, especially the youngsters.
Mhm. So, Metatron is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible,
hmm
but it's not mentioned in the Christian books. Why?
Came on that image again with those specific pillars, that are some apparently separated by one by another. So this Hebrew one is separated by the Christians,
Mm-hmm.
but simply they are related. They have to do with different parts of the beings that are running or are part of the matrix. It's not that
It's like a
I
different segment, kind of.
exactly. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
different segment, and it's like a different part. It's like when you see to one circle and you look at the different parts, but deep rooted, I see a kind of connection between all of them. So it's not something that that one is right, the other one is not right.
Mm-hmm. So it's like kind of different actors,
Different actors on different
because mhm,
parts
because you
of the.
mentioned that Metatron and Yahweh
Mhm,
can be confused or change
exact.
their uh, like people will believe that it's the same thing,
hmm exactly.
and
They're like.
actually they are two different beings,
Mhm, mhm.
entities, or
They're
energies.
collaborating each other
Hmm.
when they need that.
They're helping each other.
hmm
So how how people, like, what are the ways they connect, they give their energy to, let's say, Metatron or archangels? Or
hmm
it's too wide to ask this question, is too.
Yes. First of all, I saw two hands, put together and praying. This was the first image, but there are a lot more refined methods. I mean, I was having behind other images like
Mhm.
people reciting some words, some
Mantras.
rituals.
Mantras.
Yes, but not the type of mantras that we know. Something a bit different, like syllabs comes to my mind.
Hmm. It's like they
Uh,
use in yoga different syllab, different chanting different.
yes, some specific that these persons, these masters, know exactly what produce inside a special vibration inside of
Okay.
the person. So this person is more vulnerable, more
Hmm. Open.
more open, more
Hmm.
easy to free up energy to let it outside of him. And at the same time, I was seeing communities, circles, these meditation circles, communities in a spiritual way that they are following the teachings of those hierarchs, archangels,
Hmm.
and they are creating a kind of egregore of their own community, and this one applies to everyone, to every each of them, in a
Hmm.
way that simply makes
They
them give their energy
vulnerable and they
more
can
easily.
easy to connect, to be connected with.
hmm
Kind of they open some little doors. Let's
Exactly.
say, yeah.
Yes. hmm
What happened in in yoga when they do the sound Om? What happens?
Again, I saw, the image was like when is a nuclear bomb.
Hmm.
That came to my vision.
Wow.
No, but not in that way that powerful. The image was like this. I
Hmm.
mean, like something would sparkle in the middle, let's say this syllable, this chanting, and then creates like a reverberates, creates a kind of vibration around, and makes different effects according to what encounters on its way. This is what I feel and what I see. You see, it depends on, it's like would come a kind of wind, a very easy wind, summer wind, and that comes to a place and meets different persons, different people on its way, and the reaction is different. So it's something not easy to detect, but because it doesn't come to my mind as something, let's say, bad or creates negative effects. I don't have this feeling. I simply have the feeling that creates an vibration, a vibration, and who's I don't know, influenced by this vibration would express things according to what
He believes.
that person has already inside. It's like a catalyzer, exactly. You know, that helps things from inside to express more easily in a better or not such better way.
So that vibration says that, kind of calms your brain because moves the liquid between your scalp and your brain. It kind of balances your brain.
That's how they say.
Yeah, that's what they say
Mm-hmm,
when
mm-hmm,
you calm down.
mm-hmm,
And and that vibration,
mm-hmm,
they they can use it depending on the person's beliefs,
mm-hmm.
or how a person cannot, I mean, how can you avoid being kind of that, the energy, the vibration being used
Simply
on.
not to be in that place or not using it or not, when you don't know what is all about, better to keep away from that, because it's not something, I was not saying that this sound is made and is going throughout thousands of kilometers. No, I was saying about that room, or that, if one person has a headset on his head, or, is not something that goes and influences thousands of people around.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to be careful with this type of enchanting. Doesn't matter what syllable or stuff or mantras, simply to be careful, because if a person is not on that level to perfectly understand what's behind that syllable, better to stay away, because that was the feeling when I was telling you the spreading of that vibration that can meet also people that are having a lot of issues inside to clean, to take care of, to digest, emotional stuff. They don't need
Trauma.
at all, trauma is it. They don't need to increase even more or to take it out in a brutal way. They need their own rhythm, pace to take care of themselves. Um, yes, that was
So
comes.
isn't like that, having some trauma inside, and when they chant
Hmm.
something, they what happened, the trauma comes out and goes to a different place or somebody, or they clean it, or.
Not going to somebody else. So no, this is not. Is depending on the people around, depending on the weaknesses. Yes, every person around can be also this. In fact, because as I was speaking, I've seen persons around, like 10 persons. I was having this image, and yes, I had the feeling that one is influenced by the expressing traumas of the other next to him. but this is because they vibrate in the same frequency. Is
Mhm.
not such a thing cannot take place by chance.
Mhm.
No, it's
It's kind of
only
orchestrated.
it's kind of they vibrate on the same. It's a synchronicity simply
Okay.
there.
Mhm. Makes
Cannot
sense.
take place just because the master orders this way. If a person
Mhm.
is perfectly aligned with himself and centered and balanced, cannot happen anything to him. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter how many around are on different low levels.
Mhm. Mhm.
Only if a synchronicity occurs between them.
Mhm. So a person is doing a meditation, and I have an example from a friend of mine. She
Hmm.
was doing a meditation, and she felt, I think, Archangel Gabriel or one of
Hmm.
the archangels, like wrapping her around, and she felt that love and that uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
energy.
Hmm.
What do you perceive on that? What happens during and after?
Hmm. It's depending on the person again. It's I have different images. It's depending on the person. It's not something that we can say for good and accountable for everyone or every person, because we are so different and we are in so many levels of awareness. um, I would say better to take a few situations. For example, now,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm referring to one that comes to
Mm-hmm.
my mind, can be this thing that you said, um, that person believes that it's an archangel that
Mm-hmm.
wraps her and good energy and
Mm-hmm.
warm, but uh, comes another image to me now. That person should watch the results afterwards, how she feels, how she, you know,
Like
how
what
her life
I
is
wanted to ask you,
influenced.
what happens after she had that
Hmm.
feeling, that
Hmm.
emotions? What happens kind of in her life following?
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. This is what she has to watch. So, according to what in the way her life is changing after that
Mm-hmm.
moment, she'll know for sure if that was
Proper light or
proper
improper
lighter
light?
or no. And from my point of view now, talking about this type of events, not specifically of that person, but this
Mm-hmm.
type of events, she mostly, I think, one person that has this feeling, most probably she was the one that wrapped herself with
She created that
love. She
energy.
could that,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it's like a person doesn't know how powerful she is, and she prefers to rely on a external vibration,
Yes.
external being. But
Mm-hmm.
in fact, this type of
She
events
created it.
occur
Mm-hmm.
is exactly by ourselves, because we are that strong that we can create, we can take care of ourselves the best way that's needed and proper for us, nobody else from outside. So that's why another situation can be simply interference
Mm-hmm. Case.
from
Mm-hmm.
outside case,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, simply that. But I refer to the first situation more in detail, to make it more clear for the people outside. Okay, maybe it's not an interference, but most probably it's you, that person that touched a kind of inner balance that allowed you to have this feeling, this event, this joy, sensation, warmth, and protective feeling around you. But it's created by you and nobody else around, because it's like raising awareness step by step, uh, by us, by any of us, up to that point when you understand that any being, any light being, um, is nothing else than a person or a entity that was at some point like us, and they're depending probably by other beings outside. So it's up to us to reach that level and not rely on them. It's only to look up for the level that we are arriving to, but on our own
Pace.
pace and rhythm.
And will.
Yes, yes.
I have so many questions, but we have to stop at some point. How do you know? How can you perceive if the being is it's of improper light or proper light? As we saw that Metatron has the cold feeling, so it's a
Hmm.
being of improper light. Yeah.
Hmm.
How do you distinguish
Hmm.
between two beings of proper and improper light?
First, first that come to my vision is like one is that one that we already talked about, like that cold feeling, and
Mm-hmm.
the other one is something extremely far, like I barely can see and feel, and this is because authentic light never comes close, never come close to an energetic field of a human being
Mm-hmm.
in order to influence in any way his life. No.
Mm-hmm.
And another image that I had was a person, a physical person, in very good connection with his own intuition, will be very careful with the sensations that has inside or even in his physical body, you know, and will feel exactly if an impulse or a thought or a feeling comes from a higher level or a lower level. Um, and also a third method, let's say, as we already talked actually, looking up to the results that are coming after you had such an thought or feeling or event. Look
Mm-hmm.
at the results, what comes after, in what way influenced you. You
Your
felt
life.
your
Mm-hmm.
life or
Mm-hmm.
your state of being,
Of mind, yeah.
um,
Mm-hmm.
your mood inside, if you
Mm-hmm.
get nervous, irritated, upset, depressed, or by the contrary. But it's not also only that. You have to be careful on a long term, because we know that these improper light beings can give you temporary reliefs on things, or temporary sense of joy,
Of
of being
well-being.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Just
It's
they
kind
give
of
you a little bit of
honey to make you bitter after that for lives. Yes.
very well, Claudia. Do you have anything to add that you weren't able to add during our investigation?
No, I don't think so. No. I said what I have to say.
That's great. Now you're gonna disconnect from the information in this session. You're gonna close all the portals that you opened, disconnect from all that you had seen and perceived. Remove any energetic residues and recalibrate yourself energetically. I will count from 1 to 3 and you will return to the present in which I'm talking now. 1. You feel your body lighter and lighter, free and easy. You feel good. A wonderful feeling of tranquility and peace flows through your body. Your space is clean. Check yours and mine. 2. You balance your frequency to your ideal and optimal value. Feel how your body is charged and with strength and energy. You feel good, free, energetic, and strong. You feel very, very happy. 3. You are present and here and now. Open your eyes when you are ready. Welcome back, Claudia.
Nice to see you again.
How are you feeling?
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you
good.
for thank you for participating on this investigation. It was very interesting. I could have gone for another hour or two, but we have kind of limited time, and it's so much to talk about it. I hope everybody will enjoy our investigation. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Buenos días.
Dzień dobry.
Bienvenidos a este primer vídeo de Disclosure en español y polaco.
Bardzo Was serdecznie witamy na tym nowym wideo, które będzie w języku hiszpańskim i polskim na kanale Disclosures.
Vamos a producir mucho más vídeos en futuro como estos vídeos informativos.
W przyszłości stworzymy dużo więcej takich wideo, które będą Was informowały o różnych rzeczach.
Porque estamos notando que cuanto más se va divulgando este trabajo, estas hipnosis por internet, también cuanto más mala información se está difundiendo.
A to dlatego, że zauważyliśmy, że im więcej wstawiamy sesji z naszymi hipnozami, tym więcej jakby informacji sprzecznych zaczyna się rozprzestrzeniać.
Y entonces hoy vamos a hablar de las sesiones investigativas.
Więc dzisiaj będziemy mówić o sesjach badawczych.
Porque estoy viendo que hay personas que a lo mejor se dedican a una sesión con una persona, se van a algún lugar, preguntan algo y lo poco de información que pueden extraer de una sesión se lo creen como si fuera oro, completamente puro oro.
Bo zauważyłem, że są takie sesje i takie osoby, które robią jedną sesję z jedną osobą na dany temat i kiedy wychodzi tam jakaś informacja, to jest ona odbierana jakby to było rzeczywiście coś niesamowicie wiarygodnego, jakby to było czyste złoto.
Yo os digo que la sesión así dicha investigativa no existe.
Ja chciałbym Wam powiedzieć, że sesja badawcza tak naprawdę nie istnieje.
Entonces podríais como preguntar, entonces cuando haces una sesión a un cliente y preguntas cosas, ¿por qué preguntas?
Więc mógłbyś mi zadać pytanie, więc skoro robisz jakąś sesję z jakąś osobą i zadajesz jej pytania, to właściwie po co je w ogóle zadajesz?
Sí, sabemos que la información en hipnosis está muy, pero de verdad muy contaminada.
My bardzo dobrze wiemy, że informacja, która wychodzi podczas hipnozy jest niezwykle, ale to niezwykle zanieczyszczona.
Y esa información, así como sale de la hipnosis, no podemos tomarla como conocimiento, como investigación.
Więc takiej informacji, która wychodzi podczas sesji hipnozy, nie bierzemy nigdy jako takiej informacji, która jest rzeczywiście bardzo prawdziwa, zgodna z prawdą i oczywista.
En el caso de sesiones a clientes, la información que sacamos nos sirve por otro objetivo. El objetivo es llegar a la causa de su problema y trabajar.
Te informacje, które uzyskujemy podczas sesji dla klientów, służą nam zupełnie do czegoś innego. Celem jest to, żeby znaleźć przyczynę i pracować nad nią.
Pero ¿qué significa que la información está contaminada? ¿Cuánto está contaminada y por qué?
Ale co to właściwie oznacza informacja zanieczyszczona? Kiedy jest zanieczyszczona i dlaczego jest zanieczyszczona?
Hay que saber que cuando nosotros pedimos una información y nos llega a través de una persona en hipnosis, esta información sale de una fuente, para así decirlo, y atraviesa muchas dimensiones, muchas densidades.
Kiedy prosimy o jakąś informację podczas sesji, to ta informacja, powiedzmy to w ten sposób, pochodzi z jakiegoś źródła, ale w międzyczasie przechodzi przez wiele gęstości i wiele wymiarów.
Y también pasa por conciencias, por inteligencias. Esa información viene atrapada en el éter por varios seres.
Ale ta informacja przechodzi też przez wiele umysłów, wiele świadomości, istnieje w eterze i może być przechwycona również przez wiele bytów.
Estos seres estas inteligencias pueden voluntariamente o involuntariamente distorsionarla.
I te byty, te istoty lub świadomości mogą ją zniekształcić świadomie lub nieświadomie.
Y además, la persona que está en hipnosis tiene sus creencias, su mentalidad, sus perspectivas, sus opiniones. Esta estructura mental contamina también esta información.
A co więcej, osoba, która jest w stanie hipnozy, ma swoje własne przekonania, swoje własne wartości i wierzenia, swoją własną mentalność i przez tą właśnie strukturę całą mentalną również może dojść do jeszcze kolejnego zanieczyszczenia.
Y además, si nosotros queremos investigar, por ejemplo, una persona o un ser que no tiene ninguna conexión con el ambiente hipnótico donde estamos trabajando, esta persona puede no autorizar la salida de informaciones de sí mismo.
A co więcej, jeśli połączymy się z jakąś istotą, która absolutnie nie należy do tego środowiska hipnotycznego, w którym pracujemy, taka istota może nie zgodzić się na przekazanie informacji.
Si hay interacción, si hay interferencias entre un ser y otro, es posible que circule información por las conexiones, por los pactos.
Jeśli jest jakaś interferencja między dwoma istotami, to wtedy dzięki tym paktom, albo przez te pakty, przez to połączenie, które istnieje, rzeczywiście wychodzą informacje.
Pero si en aquella sesión en concreto ese ser o esa persona se va a cuestionar y no hay ninguna conexión, es muy improbable que llegue una información autorizada.
Ale jeśli zdarzy się tak, że łączymy się z istotą, która nie ma z tym nic wspólnego, to jest bardzo mało prawdopodobne, że dostaniemy jakąś informację.
Entonces, imaginemos que queremos investigar sobre un personaje famoso de la historia.
No, na przykład wyobraźmy sobie, że chcielibyśmy otrzymać informację o jakiejś osobie niezwykle znanej, historycznej.
Si no tenemos de alguna manera alguna conexión con los elementos del ambiente hipnótico y esta persona, aunque no esté conectada, no autoriza esta información, pues no llega.
Więc jeśli wyobrazimy sobie, że ta osoba nie jest w żaden sposób połączona z tym środowiskiem hipnotycznym, w którym pracujemy, może się tak zdarzyć, że absolutnie nie zezwoli na żadne przekazywanie informacji na swój temat.
Y cuando pasa esto, hay siempre o casi siempre alguna entidad que se aprovecha de la situación.
I kiedy to się dzieje, zazwyczaj pojawia się jakiś byt, który wykorzystuje tę sytuację.
Se puede presentar con la supuesta identidad de la persona o del ser que estamos buscando, o puede de todas formas modificar o inventar una información por su cuenta, por su personal ventaja.
Może zrobić dwie rzeczy. Albo przyjąć, zidentyfikować się z osobą, o której chcemy zrobić tę sesję, przyjąć jej tożsamość, albo zmienić informacje, które chcielibyśmy otrzymać, tak aby to działało na jej korzyść.
Nosotros en sesión a clientes podemos trabajar porque el cliente nos autoriza a trabajar en él en su sesión.
Podczas sesji dla klientów możemy pracować nad takimi informacjami, bo otrzymujemy zgodę na informacje właśnie dzięki temu klientowi.
Y podemos trabajar con sus seres queridos, por ejemplo, o con los seres que interfieren con ella, propio porque hay estas conexiones.
I możemy pracować na przykład z istotami, które kocha ta dana osoba, lub z bytami, które w nią ingerują, właśnie przez to połączenie, które tam istnieje.
Entonces, hay una gran diferencia entre la sesión a un cliente para solucionar sus problemas y hacer sesiones para investigar.
Dlatego istnieje taka duża różnica między sesjami, które robimy dla klientów, aby rozwiązać ich problemy, i między sesjami takimi poszukiwawczymi, badawczymi.
Por eso digo que no existe una sesión investigativa.
I dlatego właśnie Wam mówię, że nie istnieje coś takiego jak sesja badawcza.
Lo que existe es un protocolo de sesiones de investigación.
To, co istnieje, to pewien protokół sesji badawczych.
Hay que seguir un protocolo y hay que ejecutar una serie de sesiones y con personas diferentes.
Więc trzeba zawsze śledzić ten sam protokół, a jednocześnie wykonać wiele sesji z różnymi osobami.
El protocolo tiene que ser único, unívoco, porque hay que preguntar en un tema las mismas preguntas para ir en la misma dirección.
Ten protokół powinien być zawsze taki sam, ponieważ należy zadawać takie same pytania, tak aby iść zawsze w tym samym kierunku.
Cuanto más está restringido ese espacio de investigación, cuanto más podemos tener más probabilidad de tener buena información.
Im bardziej zawężamy obszar naszych poszukiwań, tym bardziej prawdopodobne będzie, że otrzymamy dobre informacje.
Sí, podemos también aumentar ese espacio, pero tenemos que aumentar proporcionalmente el número de sesiones por hacer.
Możemy oczywiście rozszerzyć ten obszar, ale wtedy będziemy zmuszeni również rozszerzyć ilość tych sesji.
Luego, cuando tenemos una grande serie de sesiones, pero estamos hablando de centenas o hasta de millares de sesiones.
I wtedy mówimy o olbrzymiej liczbie sesji, od setki po tysiące.
Tenemos que recoger toda aquella información que es común a todas o a casi todas estas sesiones hechas.
I wtedy musimy pozbierać te informacje, które są wspólne dla wszystkich bądź prawie wszystkich tych sesji.
Esta información común vais a ver que es un porcentaje muy pequeño con respecto a la totalidad de la información.
I zobaczycie, że ta informacja wspólna będzie naprawdę niewielkim odsetkiem tych informacji, które się tam pojawią.
Son pepitas de oro.
To są takie malutkie ziarenka.
Es como si nosotros vamos a un río, vamos a coger este filtro, vamos a coger muchísima arena para recoger solo muy pocas pepitillas de oro.
I można to przyrównać do poszukiwania złota, kiedy filtruje się dno rzeki, zbiera się mnóstwo piasku, a na koniec pojawiają się maleńkie ziarenka złota.
Esa sí que es información de oro.
I to jest właśnie ta informacja złota.
Si hoy podemos decir que hay seres que interfieren bastante con el ser humano y que tienen formas de animales reptiles o de animales a forma de insectos, etcétera, es porque todo esto sale desde que se empezaron las sesiones de hipnosis y hay muchísimas, millares y millares con esta información común.
I jeśli dzisiaj możemy powiedzieć, że są ingerencje, które przybierają formy albo reptilii, albo jakichś insektów, to dlatego, że takie informacje wychodzą od początku naszych sesji hipnotycznych i są wspólne i jest ich tysiące.
Pero si yo digo que en la ciudad de Nueva York, en el 1452, en aquel punto, había una casa que vivía un viejo que se llamaba Tom, pues solo en aquella sesión ha salido, y cuanto más contaminada puede ser, no lo va a saber nadie.
Ale jeśli chciałabym powiedzieć, przekazać taką informację, że w Nowym Jorku w 1452 roku stał taki a taki dom, w którym mieszkał taki a taki starszy pan o imieniu Tom, to nie mam pojęcia, jak bardzo zanieczyszczona będzie ta informacja.
Así entonces se hace investigación. Es un trabajo muy largo, muy duro, y tiene que ser hecho con un protocolo riguroso i severo.
A więc właśnie w taki sposób należy robić sesje badawcze. Jest to proces bardzo długi, ciężki i który wymaga bardzo restrykcyjnego protokołu.
Entonces, por esto que nosotros ya vamos a empezar a hacer ciclos de investigación.
I właśnie dlatego zaczniemy teraz robić takie cykle badawcze.
La estructura del team, que cada vez va creciendo siempre más, y el número de clientes que cada día contactan con nosotros, nos permiten organizar esos ciclos de investigación.
I ponieważ struktura naszego zespołu cały czas się powiększa, a także liczba klientów, którzy kontaktują się z nami każdego dnia, te czynniki pozwalają nam na to, żebyśmy zrobili taki cykl badawczy.
Creo que ya he dicho todo, o casi todo. Eh, Cualquier pregunta podéis escribirla en los comentarios del vídeo o donde sea publicado el vídeo.
Myślę, że powiedziałem wszystko, bądź prawie wszystko, a jeśli macie jakieś pytania, to proszę zadajcie je pod tym wideo.
Gracias por vuestra atención
Dziękujemy za Waszą uwagę.
y gracias a ti, Milena.
Gracias a ti, Carlo. Dziękujemy.
Chao.
Ciao.